Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cooper. Happy birthday to you.
I have yet to remember a birthday without my grandmother's chocolate cake. It's the staple that stays, and this isn't just the case for me. It's something that has been present at Shannon family birthdays for years. But before we get into my family and their cake, let's talk a little bit about the history of birthday cakes themselves. Cake has been referred to as the ultimate food of celebrations around the world. Birthday celebrations can be traced back globally. Egyptian pharaohs held banquets and then holiday-like parties to celebrate within their families. Romans began to make annual holidays for men, and these festivities often involved banquets and parades. Fast forward to colonial America. Similar to early birthday parties celebrated in history, those with power were able to celebrate their special day, and as time went on, wealth and social class no longer affected those who celebrated. Cake was always around, but never really solidified itself as a staple until the rise of commercialization and easier access to common kitchen supplies and ovens. Getting back to my own family's cake, because it's a recipe from my mother's side of the family, it's usually my mom or one of my aunts who makes it, and there's a reason why it's so well liked by our family.
But why is it famous? I don't know how we know. It's just,
I think because Aunt Frances made the cake for Junior and George and David for their birthdays, and they had it, and it was, like I said,
you can ask Pierce. He could tell you about it. He knows about the chocolate cake because it was a big deal for Lauren to make it for her birthday when she was away at college, her senior year.
It's just a big.
She hasn't found the photo yet.
It was a big thing. I mean, for them, getting a chocolate cake, because at that time cake mixes started coming into fashion, and my mother never. That was the other thing, major thing. Our mother never made a cake from a mix.
Right.
There's something very comforting about it. It's always been at everyone's birthday for as long as I can remember.
It's it's just that perfect. Okay, so it's like this perfect combination. You've got the sour cream cake with the really fudgy.
Sour cream cake is a tad dry, actually.
Yeah, which is
Sour milk.
Sour milk.
I'm sorry, sour milk, not sour cream.
Sour cream.
Sour milk.
Sour milk. I'm sorry, buttermilk cake with. You need that to balance the
tartness.
The tartness to balance the fudge.
As we've grown up and taken more interest in cooking, my sister, cousins, and I are learning and understanding not only why this cake is so important, but how to make it so that we can make it for ourselves and eventually our families, though it is very much a learning process.
What I find interesting is the way we each have the recipe slightly different.
Well, Johanna has it written. Mother actually wrote it down for her. Mm-hmm. She just told me it's in the cookbook. And I wrote down the icing recipe. So obviously she did not tell me about the extra egg. Or maybe she did, and I didn't write it down.
Hello, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
I did it.
All right. You're out. We're sorry to traumatize you for the next one.
He's gone.
Cooper, so sorry. He's
Go
like,
ahead.
I am not
Go
having
ahead.
it.
I will drop a load of feces on your
I
sheets.
am not you people.
And it probably upset his heart murmur, really.